How many capsules did I have? 2. Each one was 10 milligrams, so I had a total of 20. Did I don't, oh man, I just realized a lot of you guys may not have heard the story of when I went to TwitchCon last year. Oh, you're a soldier too. Greets from Germany. Hey, wie geht es Ihnen, der Virus Drogovar? That's awesome, man. I just saw you on Juji Mufu's channel. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. More Juji Mufu content coming at you this year too. Very excited. Okay, so the TwitchCon story. All right. So, just so, why would you take 20 milligrams? You know what? Because I'm a fucking idiot. Okay, so here's the scoop for you, chat. All right. Not many people probably know this. Some might. So my brother, TechSmith314, is an analytical chemist with a master's degree in analytical chemistry who works exclusively with the plant that produces sugar. Legitimately. There are 115 cannabinoids, and 112 of them are non-psychoactive. Yes, that's right, Chad. He works with the plant that produces sugar. And his lab works with only the ones that are non-psychoactive. So the ones that are used to treat like Parkinson's, appetite suppressant, appetite stimulant, memory loss, stress relief, assistance with sleep, blah, 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 blah. He works with all of that. Now, so I know from him a lot of the science behind the plant that produces sugar. And for example, I know that the amount that is required, like what's considered a dose, 20 milligrams is a week dose. No, it's fucking not. Not if you haven't used it until you were 29 years old, then no, it's fucking not. So the dose of sugar required to get the average person high is 5 milligrams. A person who doesn't use it habitually, and is just your average human being, chemically speaking, what is required to get an individual high is 5 milligrams. Okay? That's the average, the standard person. And if you don't believe that, guess what? You don't fucking have to, because my brother has a master's degree in analytical chemistry. So unless you're speaking as a person with a graduate degree in analytical chemistry who has worked for years exclusively on cannabinoids, fuck you. So, I went to TwitchCon 2018, and there I was roomed with Sarapoopalyspe and Gilly. As the plane landed in San Jose, I got a text message from Gilly saying, hey, did you know that there are companies sort of like Postmates or Uber Eats or Skip the Dishes that will deliver sugar right to your door? And I was like, wow, that sounds awesome. You should get some for us and I'll pay for half of it and we'll all enjoy some sugar. So I get to the hotel room, keeping in mind I have basically zero experience. I didn't ever do it until it was legal in Canada. And so I get to the hotel and we had peach rings, white chocolate marshmallows, and a chocolate bar. And I said, okay, here's the deal. The 3 of us are going to have a peach ring, 1 peach ring each. And then we're gonna wait an hour and a half and see how it feels. And if we don't feel anything from the sugar, we'll have something else. So, okay. So the 3 of us are there. Keeping in mind, Gilly weighs about 170 pounds. Sarah weighs 105 pounds if she's soaking wet. So each of us have a peach ring. We're sitting there, we're shooting the shit. An hour and a half later, we feel literally nothing. Nothing. I mean fucking nothing. I didn't feel a little bit fuzzy. I didn't feel a little bit mellow. I felt literally nothing. I felt a little bit annoyed that I didn't feel anything, but whatever. So I said, okay, all right. We're each gonna have one marshmallow. So we each have one marshmallow. And then I'm like, we're gonna wait another hour and see how we feel. So we wait another hour and we continue to feel literally absolutely nothing. Genuinely nothing. So now I'm getting kind of irritated and I'm thinking like, now I'm starting to think, I think we actually have been swindled. I'm thinking like, I think that we just spent $20 on a bag of 10 fucking peach gummy rings that are just peach gummy rings. Some guy convinced us to spend $20 on 10 fucking peach rings that are just from a gas station or something. So we wait another hour, we feel literally nothing. And I say, okay, all right, you know what? We're each gonna have one piece of chocolate and then that's it. And whether or not we feel anything, we're just gonna go from there. So now we've each had one peach ring, we've each had one marshmallow, we each have one square of chocolate. We wait another 40 minutes and I'm like, this is fucking stupid. Let's just go to the convention center. So we go to the convention center and we're standing outside. We're getting ready to pick up our partner passes with our little swag bags and blah, 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 blah. And we're standing in line and Sarah taps us on the shoulder and we turn around and she goes, I need to go back to the hotel room right now. Like, right now. And we were like, oh, okay, yeah, shit, fuck, Jesus Christ, okay. So Gilly takes her back up to the hotel room and then he comes back down and he was like, whoa, that was crazy, man. The fuck was that all about? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. Do you feel anything? And he was like, no. And I was like, I feel literally nothing. You don't feel anything, hey? And he was like, I don't feel anything. And I was like, okay, yeah, I feel literally nothing, man. All right. So we're standing in line and we shoot the shit. I met Matt Stoney, the competitive eater. My Jesus Christ. The guy is the size of a 9-year-old. He's so small. He's fucking tiny and he's broken all these world records for competitive eating. Anyways, so that was cool. He was fucking such a cool guy. Really, really fucking cool guy. Super introverted, super mellow, super quiet. Really fucking cool dude. We get inside the convention center. We get into the merchandise store because that's one of the things they do is that partners get to go into the merchandise store first. So we get in there and we're in the merchandise store. And I get to the cashier and I open up my wallet and literally as I'm doing it, I'm now doing the mental math because I'm worried about Sarah. I'm worried if she's like allergic or something like that. And then the Rolodex of my mind starts to click as I realize that I have given each of us 95 milligrams all at once. We each took 95 milligrams. And as I'm calculating this in my head, my entire world goes boom. So it's like a pinpoint. And I look up at the cashier and he's going, sir. And I looked up at him and I was like, yeah. And he says, are you paying with debit or credit? And I went, I don't know. What is this? And he said, that's your credit card, sir. And I said, how did I get it? And he said, you took it out of your wallet. It's literally in your other hand. And I just looked at him and went, I gotta go right now. And he was like, okay. So I somehow managed to pay and I walk over, and I still remember so clearly, I'm just trying to focus on making my legs work. And I get to the exit and Gilly is standing there facing the exit and I tap on his shoulder and I was like, I think I gotta go to the hotel, man. And he turns around and his eyes are like cherry tomatoes and he's like, me too. I was like, okay. So we get outside and we're now like holding each other's hands, trying to make it back to the hotel, which was literally a 60-second walk from the convention center. And we're walking there and I meet one of my other streamer friends who I had never met in real life before. His name is Run Wild, RUNWYLD, Run Wild. I did not know this, keeping in mind it is now pitch black outside and we are on a dimly lit street. Run Wild comes up to me and Gilly as we're walking back to our hotel room and wants to introduce himself to me. So the way that he says it is, Milton, Milton, run, Milton, run. What I hear is, hey, Milton, run. And I was like, okay! Oh my God! What the fuck? Oh my God, it's the giant from Game of Thrones and he's gonna get... So I'm running down the street and Run Wild is like... So, all I remember is that I got back to the hotel room and another one of my streamer friends, you guys probably know Herona and another one of my streamer friends, Venilis, messaged me and they're like, hey, fuckhead, remember when you said you were coming to dinner tonight? And I was like, I can't come to dinner tonight. And they were like, why? And I was like, I can't find the door to my hotel room. And they were like, where are you? And I said, in my hotel room. And they were like, oh, all right, buddy. Rest up. So, yeah. That was one of my first real experiences with the old sugar. It's crazy, man. We woke up the next day at like 11 a.m. and I was like, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my name was. Dude, I was fucking donezo. I was done. I didn't come. Okay, you know what? You want to know how it continues? You want to know how it continues? The next day, okay, all right. Admittedly, not the brightest thing I've ever done. I think I was still under the influence of sugar and decided that I was going to have another piece of chocolate. So I did that, and then I went to my Design by Humans meet and greet at the convention center. I go there, and the meet and greet was maybe 45 minutes, and I was mostly okay for 42 minutes. I met one of like the CEOs of Design by Humans named Chris right at the start, and I was like, hey Chris, nice to meet you. MiltonTPike1, because I'm an idiot and already didn't know that I already had MiltonTPike. Hi, how are you? Yeah, great, nice to meet you, fantastic. I have my meet and greet. It goes really well. Like genuinely, the first 42 minutes I was on point. I was fine. Then about 42 minutes in, I start thinking, uh-oh. And I remember Brian, thank fucking God, one of my admins, Brian, takes me by the arm and he's like, okay, Milton, time to go, right, bud? And then Chris, the CEO, comes up to me and he's like, oh, hey man, hey, it was really nice to meet you. This was wrapping up your meet and greet, but it was really cool that you came out. And I remember I looked at him and went, who the fuck are you? And he was like, and Brian was like, okay, time to go, man. So he assists me out of the convention center. And I was like, man, I feel so good. I think I'm gonna go walk somewhere and get some lunch. So right next to the San Jose Convention Center, there's the Tech Museum. And I go into the Tech Museum and there's a cafe on the bottom floor. And I walk in there and there's this really nice middle-aged man standing there with his daughter. His daughter's looks like she's about 5 or 6 years old. And they're standing in line looking at the menu. I am now tumbling down this well of sugar real fast. And I'm standing there just trying to process everything, trying to process that, yes, this is indeed a place where you can order food. Yes, I am indeed looking at a menu. And yes, there is someone who is technically in front of me in the lineup. I'm trying to process all this information. Okay. So I'm standing there and the guy with his daughter like turns around and looks at me and I'm just standing there like, and so he's standing there and he turns around and he's like, hey, you can You're free to go first, man. And what I meant to say was, no thank you, and I'm still deciding, and I'm just looking for now. And what I said was, and his daughter was immediately like, and the guy was like, oh Jesus, oh my God. And I just left. As soon as I was trying to say all these things at once, and my brain couldn't process it. So it's apparently my default action was shriek at this man and his 5-year-old daughter. And I just left. I was like, well, I can never come back to this establishment. They're probably gonna put up a poster of me being like, call security, call the police if this man enters the building. So I just turned and left. I just walked away. So, you know, when you're like on the bus or something like that, or you're walking downtown and you see that one person who's totally fucking wigged out of their mind, and you're like, ugh, that's uncomfortable. I was that guy. I was that guy. Yeah. So anyways, that was one of my first ever experiences with sugar. So yeah, I'm Raiden, fucking Raiden. How are you, man? So I'm a very, very, very lightweight when it comes to that stuff. Rest assured. Yeah. You get so fucking fried you have to think about blinking. I know. On Sunday, you know, I thought I was gonna be fine, and then I was worried that the fizziness of drinking soda was going to choke me and I was gonna die. And I was like, time to go to bed. I am concerned about soda killing me because it's fizzy, and I thought it was gonna expand in my throat like auto-inflating insulation. And I was like, that's an indication it is time to go to bed. No more time for being awake for Milton. It's so stupid. What song are you playing? Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, but slowed down about 700% to suit my mental prowess. Try taking pop rocks while tripping? Man, I'd cut my mouth out or something like that. I'd freak out. Yeah, anyways, so that was one of my first experiences with that. The only other memory I have from that night was waking up briefly at like midnight, and Sarapoopalyspe was just sitting straight up in her bed, and I looked at her and I was like, I need to pee. And she was like, just go pee, man. Just go pee. And I remember looking at her and going, I don't remember how. She was like, just go to the fucking washroom and you'll figure it out. I was, okay. Hey, Tempy420 with 5 gifted subbies. Can I see some poggies and some clappies in chat for Tempy420 with 5 gifted subs? Thank you very much for that. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so when you guys hear me taking 20 milligrams and don't understand how I was blasted off my fucking gourd, now you know. How much of the bar was 95? Oh, it wasn't just the bar. It was like the gummy was 50, the marshmallow was 20, and the piece of chocolate was 20. So